You're listening to The Analog Dungeon, a podcast where I present a dungeon module or pre-printed adventure from the storied history of Dungeons & Dragons to my friend, and we make jokes about it. On this episode, we seek to answer a question the internet has been asking for at least 20 years. Is N2, the Forest Oracle, from 1984, the worst D&D module of all time? This is part 1 of 3. Enjoy! Russell.
Jeramy.
Here we are again.
Check to the rec kid. Let's begin. Party on, party people. I'm sorry. I went way back there.
Way back. Not as far back as we're going to be going today, though. Because today, we are going back to 1984. I've been staying in
that's pretty far back there. I'm a year old at that point.
Yes, depending on what part of the year we're in, I am not born or I'm under a year old. And I've been kind of staying in this general vicinity, really just out of just it's just the way it kind of happens. This is an interesting period at TSR, which we will get in, which we've talked about before in some of in Tomb of the Lizard King, in that they were going through a lot of there was a big layoff at TSR, right? From 83 and 84. If memory serves me correctly, I want to say they went from 330-ish employees down to about 30. Whew. And we've talked previously, at least previously recording this, we've mentioned Mark Akers, who was one of the people who was let go. And so this is not people who weren't cutting the mustard. Mark Akers is as far as I'm concerned, a god. He is the patron saint. He's the patron saint of killing players and making them hate you. In addition to that, we also had Gary Spiegel, who did Kidnapping of Princess Arlena, another perfectly fine, super fun adventure. Really super talented guys. So today we're going to be doing a module that's by one of their contemporaries. And for that, we're going to be in a series of modules, the N series. And so, Russell, it N for what?
I would imagine new player?
Close. Effectively, yes. But N is novice. We are in the novice modules. Now, the first novice module, N1, is one you might have heard of. It's called Against the Cult of the Reptile God. It was named the 19th. We've mentioned this before. There was a Dragon magazine ranking of the best modules. It was named the 19th greatest adventure of all time by Dragon magazine. So pretty highly regarded, not as famous as some of the, not a Tomb of Horrors, not a Keep on the Borderlands, but relatively well known. I've heard of it for certain, but
kind of hard to beat the peanut butter jelly of cults and adventurers, right?
Yes, right. Cults are just it really is your bread and butter, and it really is your peanut butter and jelly. So, but we're not talking about N1 today. We are talking about N2, and N2 is notable not for what it does right, but for what it does wrong. N2 is considered, now this is obviously there's no official listing here. This is all subjective. N2, which is called the Forest Oracle, is considered to be the worst old school D&D module ever printed by TSR. Now, so who says this, right? So it's around 2005. Someone did a review of this module. You can hear plenty of reviews of old school modules. Someone did a review of this module talking about how terrible it was. And then right around that same time, someone posted to the Ian World forums, talking about the Forest Oracle and how bad it was, which spawned a 50+ page thread of people delighting in how terrible this module is. It's so bad, or it is supposedly so bad that all of this, I didn't make this all up. I found this because this is in the Wikipedia article for the Forest Oracle. They in the in-world article described the Forest Oracle as the worst TSR adventure module ever published, beginning a process of canonizing it as poorly received.
Someone jumps on, everybody else starts jumping on too.
Yes. Later retrospectives have concurred, calling out the adventure's linearity and, quote, mundane, nonsensical, and worst of all, dull structure. Now, I do want to say I don't necessarily agree with this. I would call this module bad. I think if you're going to good and bad, 0 or 1, yes, I would call the module bad. I would, however, beyond just bad, I would call it deeply weird.
That can go in D&D terms a lot of different directions,
yes.
And some of them pretty strange.
Weird?
So I'm very curious what kind of weird would also like stick out in people's minds as, wow, this one's a real stinker.
Yes, this is special, and it is weird in a way that modules are not weird frequently. It's weird in a The Room kind of way where, yes, the movie The Room is bad, but it's also weird. And it makes you question like why anyone would do what they have done with this, right? And that is really where the Forest Oracle gets. It's weird in a way that you're like, it begs constantly asks the question, what was this person thinking? Where did this
How did this get published?
How did this happen? So I do want to talk about the author, and we're gonna be talking about this module in somewhat of an unflattering light. But I do want to say the author is a man named Carl Smith. Again, a contemporary of Mark Akers, Gary Spiegel. He was also laid off in that same time, and would also go on to work in the company Pacesetter, which I mentioned earlier. You can listen to Lizard King if you want me to talk more about Pacesetter. It was a very short-lived but relatively well-celebrated company that had some really cool, really interesting things that they put out. So what else did Carl Smith do? Because I feel like before we get into this, we need to kind of look at what he did. So first his first credit is he's the sole designer for AC1, Accessory 1, The Shady Dragon Inn, which provides a mass of pre-generated characters for DMs and for players.
I get behind a Shady Dragon.
Yeah,
I think that's solid.
And he also, The Shady Dragon Inn is kind of his thing. He did several years later. He fleshed the inn out a little bit more in some articles in some magazines. Shady Dragon Inn is relatively well known, and that Shady Dragon Inn was well received by the community when it came out. He also wrote an article in the very first Dungeon magazine, which not very many people can say. And he was on the design team and is credited as being the person that wrote the songs for the Dragonlance module, or for several modules in the Dragonlance series, the DL series, which was sort of the novels and the modules came out kind of around the same time, which sort of like begat Dragonlance as a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then his one module that he alone is the designer for is the Forest Oracle, which we're going to get into today. I did want to note, though, just as kind of to go full circle, in the thread, the in-world thread that's 50-something pages long, it is hilarious. And if you enjoy this and you want to read jokes that are probably better than what you're going to get here of this, you should go check out the in-world post. I will link it wherever we're linking things, probably in the show notes. I did want to note out that at least one commenter in the in-world thread did say that this adventure was, quote, great. and that it is, quote, better than half the early crop of 3E adventures by far. This is in 2005 when 3E just kind of came out. This proves that things literally never change in this hobby.
They never change. But also, like, the thing about the room references, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've all heard that, like, it's so bad it's good.
Yes.
That, like, I can't help but watch the train wreck happen. I am the person who says the room is garbage. Why are we sitting wasting our time with garbage?
Sure.
Turn it off.
Sure.
But that tells me more about how much someone disliked what was going on in third edition than what they thought about the Forest Oracle.
Yes, they were looking back with rose-tinted glasses at, and I'm familiar with enough of the third edition module because Sunless Citadel would have come out by this time. Like, the Forest Oracle is worse than all of those by a measure of about 1 million. But that just, I saw that and I was like, this is ripped from 2024 headlines. You know, the new thing comes out and there's people who are like, oh, this new thing's interesting, and then there's the other crowd of people who are like, but it's not the thing that I like, and you're like, oh, just shut up.
I recently had a similar thing with particular art styles and Eberron campaign setting, aka the greatest campaign setting ever made.
Yep.
And
don't at me. Love
right.
It.
It was exactly that. It was the, like, this is not my particular preferences of this particular timestamp in Eberron art, and so it concerns me about Wizard of the Coast's art direction. And it's like, it's all inspiration.
Yeah.
It's all grist. And that's where things like the Forest Oracle come in. It's all stuff that goes into the bucket, and then you take the bucket and sometimes you sift out some really good stuff. Or you happen to have it in the bucket when someone comes along and you're like, oh, this is perfect for this. Because sometimes I would rather have something that sits on my shelf and I occasionally look at it and then I just don't pick it up. Rather than just like, nope, we have to be curated by a Twitter poll. I can't take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Different strokes for different folks. Definitely. I think it's always a good idea to keep an open mind when new things come out, when companies try to do something new, when they try to move forward, and to go back and look at things that you once loved or that you remember thinking about fondly, and maybe taking a more sober look at them, because your brain does some pretty crazy tricks on you. The thing that jumps to my mind right now is, and I'm going to get stoned in the street by saying this, is the movie Jumanji. If you haven't watched the movie Jumanji, in the last, if you watched it as a kid and like me thought it was the greatest fucking thing you'd ever seen, and then you watch it now and you're like, these effects are so bad. How was I ever, like, the thing that I really remember and that really stood out to me was the part with the spiders in the attic where they're running. These spiders are straight up wind up toys. Like, you can tell. And I'm like, how was I ever like weirded out by, how did I ever find this? Like, this is camp. It's bad enough to be camp. And, you know, but it's still a great movie. Still really super, you know, fun and interesting, and I still enjoyed watching it. But I definitely came out of that with a different look. So I'm definitely not like, oh, the new Jumanji is ruining the perfect creation that was the original Jumanji.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's Kevin Hart that keeps me bringing me back in, you know. Just get nostalgic for just those early moments in the franchise that you're just like, you know, we take it like it is. We take it with warts and all.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So let's dive in. The Forest Oracle by Carl Smith. This is a game adventure for characters level 2 through 4. This is an AD&D, specifically first edition AD&D module for levels 2 through 4. I did want to jump into the preface, which gives you a little bit of an idea of what is going on here, which you are going to need. Only you can save the Downs from the curse.
Only you.
Yeah, can save the Downs. That is DOWNS, like a racetrack, like a racetrack, I guess. I don't know.
It's probably, and this is me like not trying to dig into something I absolutely don't know anything about,
Mhm.
but I'm certain it refers to a very specific land feature or designated area within any kind of like animal husbandry style facility.
Sure. There's apparently something called a downland, which is areas of open chalk hills. They're common in England. So, yeah, the Downs with a capital D. Seen from the rim of the hill, the vale looks as if a mighty pen has drawn a slash across it. The gentle hillside leading to the valley floor is golden and healthy. The great old wood, which is spelled GreateOldewooDe. That's
Oh,
right. It's the
yeah.
Grady Oldie Woody.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, that just hits different. It's got, listen, I don't know why the French were so mad at the English when they also didn't pronounce half the vowels that they put in their words. Like, oh, Grady
Yep.
Oldie Woody,
Grady
it
Oldie
just,
Woody.
oh, mwah. It's that Soussaint of, yes, please, hand me my leather mug of beer and my giant turkey leg. I'm a going to the Ren Fair.
I was gonna say, this is maybe too Ren Fair for the Ren Fair. Like even the Ren Fair wouldn't go full 3 E's in every scene. You would get great, maybe oldie Woody, but not Grady oldie Woody. It takes, I mean, it is really the chef's kiss.
We
Uh,
haven't thrown any umlauts or any weird Enya,
Unfortunately
things in there.
not, but I mean, I think you gotta imagine it in like a really bold scripty typeface with little slashies on it. You know that there's got to be like a little accent mark somewhere. Oh,
Well, if
great.
this is Tolkienian writing at all, there's going to be a bunch of those embellishments
That's
present
right. The
that
Grady
have
Oldie
very
Woody.
specific and deep linguistic meaning and heritage.
The Gritty Oldie Woody beyond the veil rises in autumn splendor, but the land in between. Ellipsis for emphasis. As you move from the golden grass of the hillside, an editor's note, grass should not be gold, to the blighted valley, you hesitate, wary of stepping foot on the brown, wispy grass. Nothing moves within the spoiled land ahead. Nothing but rotten fruit dropping from the trees. Put a pin in that. The soil is gray and cracked as if it had not rained for many days. Many, maybe weeks. But the rain has often made travel difficult in the past week. This is no drought. This cannot be the Downs. Long ago, the land prospered under the care of the Druids that lived here. Fruit tree branches hung low, heavy with ripened apples and pears. Nearly on the ground, there were so many apples and pears.
Subtle, not subtle.
Sheep, goats, and cows wandered the grassy slopes surrounding the valley. But when civilization came, the Druids moved into the heart of the Grady Oldie Woody, possibly across the Wild River. That is the name of the river, not a descriptor of the river.
The river wild.
I'm just
hating
surprised
it.
it's not Rivery Wildy.
Wivery wildy.
If the Druids were here, they could prevent the crops and animals from dying. They could prevent the wildlife from disappearing. Help from this land lies somewhere within the dark ancient forest, with the forest oracle of the Druids. Can you reach them in time to save the Downs?
Okay, this is, first off, I will say this.
Mhm.
Grass is golden when it's hay.
Sure.
Like
Fair.
grass is golden
Fair.
when it's hay.
That is fair.
Because as someone who spent many a summer cutting, raking, tethering, and baling,
Sure.
like totally, I'm okay with a little golden grass. Don't worry
Sure.
about that.
Sure.
But also, I like the implication that there has to be a place for druids to ward off evil influence,
Mhm.
right? Like the idea of ill humors sickening people because they haven't allowed enough fresh air or sunlight in, and so it becomes stale and stagnant.
Sure.
This
Sure.
idea that there is like evil that will suffocate a crop or will wither this whole thing. It fits into a, your cows are being stillborn because people have displeased the whatever. And
Right.
if you're in a medieval economy and you're in a medieval philosophy, then certainly those things, having a specific thing in there, it's like, yeah, this is why druids exist,
Right.
you know?
To make sure that the land is in harmony with everything around it.
Exactly. We hear mostly in our later editions, our more recent modern editions of D&D, druids tend to be the kind of a little bit of that, but also a bit of the first
protector of the forest.
They are the first responders against the monstrous. Yes.
Yeah.
Like monsters are what druids kind of protect against, and they keep natural forces wild, and often can be antagonists for more civilization encroaching. But that's different from druids exist so the land stays, pure and doesn't get spoiled.
Yes.
That's a pretty solid little antagonistic, crux to put in there that I'm perfectly happy with.
Especially if they build out a town and they you have a populace and you're able to see the populace suffering, and you want to, as an adventurer, you want to help, or there's something, there's a good story to be told there. Totally agree. And that's what I kind of say is, like, this module is not it's not god awful. It's not everything that happens here is the absolute worst. And I would go back to say, they saying that it was dull and things like that. It's not. I would not go so far as to call it dull. Believe me, if it was dull, I wouldn't be talking about it right now.
It feels very pastoral to begin with.
Yes, it definitely is, and it is a journey. There are things that I find are very interesting. There are interesting choices made by the author that I think are very fun as a player. I would want to experience. I would be hyped if that was a thing that happened. But there's also a deep, abiding weirdness that you're gonna really start getting. You're gonna really start getting the flavor of very, very quickly. So to start off, which I kind of, and I guess we're going to talk about stuff we like. I kind of love this because we start off with a wandering monster table, because it literally says, make a die roll for every 2 turns when your party's in the wilderness to determine if they encounter a wandering monster. You're going to be going, it's the forest oracle. You've just, you're going to be spending some time in the woods, in the wild, instead of putting this in various locations. It's like, you're in this general, timetable. You can keep a little note here, and then this will give you a really quick wandering monster to drop on your players. Right when you want to do it. A 1 on a d20 means the party encounters a wandering monster. That's every 2 turns, so every 20 minutes or so.
Yep, because every turn is roughly 10 minutes of wilderness travel.
Yes.
Which means you're rolling about 3 times an hour.
Sure. Roll a d20 again and consult the wandering monster table to determine what monster the party's surprise. Oh, and then it also, this is another thing that you'll see. It deals with surprise almost at random. Like, now you determine if you have surprise based on logic and who's hiding the best and who can see the best. This is, the party surprises the monster if the DM rolls a 1 or a 2 on a d6. There is no surprise if there's a 3 or a 4, or the monster surprises the party if the DM rolls a 5 or a 6, which sucks. That's kind of lame.
It kind of feels very, it feels very programmatic. It feels very video game.
Yes.
If you're like, I put my adventurers on this is Oregon Trail. I put my adventurers on this end of the Oregon Trail. They're going to get to this end of the Oregon Trail, and it's going to take this time. And you watch the progress bar go along, and every so often something interrupts it. And it is, did you get the drop on them? Did you come across them in a way that lets you ambush them? Or did they ambush you? Were they lying in wait? Yep. And making that random, I will say this, it probably speeds it up.
It does, and it is probably easier for novice players. So I would be willing to give it a pass as a player, especially if I were, I don't know, a rogue, or I don't know, even worse than that, a ranger, and I kept getting surprised by every monster because the DM keeps rolling 5s or 6s, and I'm not able to be like, I'm supposed to be Aragorn here. You're ruining my fantasy.
Here's the other part of that. This is on, you said, a 1 out of a d20 chance that you even get a random monster every 10 minutes.
Right.
Or every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of die rolling on behalf of the dungeon master. Not a lot of die rolling on behalf of the players. And That's a that's a 5% chance.
Yeah.
That's extremely low.
And on in addition to that, another thing that I like the way that they handle the wandering monster table is they have a note here that says adjust the number of wandering monsters encountered to the number of player characters. Limit the number of 1 or 2 hit dice monsters to twice the number of player characters, and the 3+ hit dice monster to 1 per player character. The wandering monsters encountered will always attack. Oh yeah, you're not parlaying with the wandering monsters, so it
Nah,
gives you a
it's pretty
limit.
straightforward.
And because you are, I mean, you are going to be out in the wilderness for a relatively lengthy period of time, multiple days. So you are going to be rolling quite a few. You are going to be, you will probably get through the majority, even with a 5% chance or 10% chance every 2 hours. You will probably get through your wandering monsters, but I like that it kind of spreads them out, makes it a little bit random, and you're seeing like new stuff as you go through.
But that's still 3 rolls an hour. If you travel 8 hours, or if you're out travel 10 hours, that's 30 rolls for a day's travel.
Mm-hmm.
And I could either see this being like everybody's kind of like watching the DM roll, watching the DM roll, watching the DM roll. Granted, nobody has phones to get distracted by at this point.
So that's all we did was watch the DM roll.
But also, like, this could be the, go get the soft drinks, go get the refills. I could see a DM like, cool, we're going to take 2 minutes, everybody grab some snacks, and then they just like roll and then make notes for how many times they hit a 1.
Yeah.
And then they line up their encounters, and then they're like, cool, you travel an hour, then this happens. Travel 5 hours, then this happens. But it also, it's very Saturday morning cartoon, right?
Yes.
You're walking through the woods. There's skeletons with battle axes. What ho, you attack. And then there's really nothing else that needs to happen. There doesn't need to be much else other than just like, we're adventurers. We're in the woods. Right. Everything is, Technicolor. This is going to be what happens. We come across monsters in the woods.
You got to do something. You got to do something.
You got to hold the other side up. That's the way it's got to be.
Yeah. So I want to briefly go through the wandering monster table because it's pretty standard, but I do think it gives a good kind of lay of the land of what we're really looking for. Number 1 to 20 giant ants.
Oh, they're back.
Yeah, they're back. We love a giant ant.
Walking around with people's torsos hanging out of their faces.
They attack with mandibles, and their warriors have a poison sting. Number 2, baboons, 10 to 20 baboons. I've never really thought I'd see a D&D party fighting a troop of baboons, but here we are.
Like if you wander into their grove or their like, imagine I'm picturing like there are stands of big trees and you wander into them and you realize, oh, we're in the middle of their, area and we have to GTFO.
Oh yeah, they're howling and jumping. They do have special defense climbing, so
yeah,
they're kind of
in that case it is like Jumanji.
Yeah, that's right. This is Jumanji-esque. In a sense, it's not jungly, but it does have kind of those same hallmarks. 1 to 3 black bears possible. Number 4 wild boars. 1 to 6. 2 to 12 giant centipedes.
Bleh.
4 to 8 dogs, wild. 3 to 9 frogs, killer. What makes them killer frogs?
Wait, killer frogs?
Yeah, they're killer frogs. They do 1 to 2, 2 to 5 damage. They have talons and teeth, which is horrifying. They use both talons and teeth on their attack. So this is a 4 hit dice monster. So these we don't want the killer frogs.
Yikes.
4 to 8 gnolls, 2 to 4 harpies. They have singing and charm.
Harpies. Anybody playing Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah, Harpies just played Baldur's Gate on a I'm doing a ranger run because I'd never really played a ranger before, Beastmaster Ranger, and those harpies wrecked my shit. I could not stop being charmed by them. I had poor Asterion trying to backstab the harpies and breaking the song, and he was the only one who didn't constantly fall under their spell. I wonder why. Yeah. 2 to 6 hyenas. 11 to 40 kobolds that have swords.
40 kobolds?
40 kobolds.
What the
I
hell?
mean, no one said you can't face 40 kobolds. There's nowhere in the rules that say you can't be beset upon by 40 kobolds.
You know, I wouldn't mind having like fifth level adventurers just facing like 50 kobolds all
Yeah,
at
I mean,
once.
it's that how many kindergartners do you think you could take in a fight if you had an unending wave of them coming at you?
The full
Um,
trend of 100 gorillas recently.
right. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Let's see. Lizard, comma giant. 2 to 4, 6 to 12 lizard men.
Oh, see, with the killer
Uh,
frogs, I wondered if we had lizard folk or not.
oh yeah, we got lizards. We have giant lizards and lizard men. We also have men, and then in parentheses, cavemen. So men, comma cave. I guess this you just stumble upon a Paleolithic society. 10 to 20 of those guys. They all have clubs. Shockingly enough, shocking nobody. 10 to 20 orcs. 5 to 20 giant rats. 2 to 4 satyrs. Satyrs are interesting. They have a special attack that's butts with sharp horns, or 20% chance to play pipes and charm or put a character to sleep and rob him of choice items.
That's where people need to remember whether it's a verb or a noun.
Yeah, that's right. You called skeletons 3 to 10. They do not have battle axes. They have spears.
Aw.
1 to 2 tigers.
Yeah.
Just straight up tigers.
We had tigers. We had bears. Tell me we have lions.
There are no lions. There are, however,
Boo.
common wolves. 2 to 10. They're just wolves, and they're your standard issue wolves.
Boo this
So
mod.
you are going to be encountering. I mean, you do a thing. You're walking for a little bit, and you've got. You're taking on 6 wild boars charging you. So kind of keep that in mind, as because there are some instances where you're doing some long trekking and some. I'll say this has some of the weirdest, the most weirdly long distances that it writes out in feet that I've ever seen. Like I don't know why. A little note on travel time: a man, I'm going to say, or a woman, on foot can travel 20 miles a day, about 2 miles an hour. Each hex on our map is 2 miles across, so that's 10 boxes a day. On horseback, you can travel 40 miles a day. So there we are. We start in the opening scene, which is called the opening scene of Into the Grady Oldie Woody.
Well, just as a example, I did 1 day's rolling on that 1 through 20.
Uh-huh.
1 random encounter.
There you go. And now roll a d20 again.
Well, that was 30 rolls.
Sure. Now roll a d20 again. See what you got.
Right. So day 2, no random encounters.
Yeah.
Day 3, no random encounters.
Yeah.
Day 4, 1 random encounter.
I mean, the maths.
Yeah, but you still have to roll. That's 120 dice for 4 days and 3 random encounters.
And I'm assuming you're using, because I don't hear the sound of hail hitting your desk.
Yeah.
I assume you're using a digital dice roller, which did not exist.
Did not exist.
Unless you could code BASIC.
Nope.
Then maybe you could. So, Into the Grady Oldie Woody. Box text. The sun is setting as you approach the Downs, a hidden vale farmers claimed from the wilderness long ago. All does not appear well here. The fading light of day cannot disguise the curled and withered leaves hanging lifelessly from the trees. Rotted fruit rests upon the ground, blackened and soft. It's back. The dry, brittle grass breaks underfoot. The Downs has never been like this. Something is terribly wrong. Beyond the dying trees lies a familiar sight, the Happy Farmer Tavern. Perhaps the tavern keeper can explain what is happening to the Downs. If nothing else, a good meal and a rest will be a welcome relief. So this is one thing about the box text that is a little weird, that does continue, is that doesn't read like box text.
Mm-hmm.
It reads much more casually. It reads much more like this is what you would expect a DM to say in addition to box text, right?
Yeah.
And I should also note that this does not take place in any specific area. You can kind of put it wherever. So I guess if you're reading this box text, you're just assuming that your players have some familiarity with the Downs.
Or at least you're encouraged to come up with something. I don't really figure that we sometimes get a lot more background than what we've gotten so far. So like I haven't heard a hook beyond like you have to go to the Downs.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't tell you how to get
will come.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you how to get your players to the Downs.
Yeah.
It just says your players are heading to the Downs.
Yep.
And then this is where you start off, which you're gonna get more of. So onto the Happy Farmer Tavern, which I will admit, nice name for a farm tavern.
Yeah.
Greetings, says a tall, hefty man as the door to the warm, dimly lit tavern opens. Have a seat. He points to some benches surrounding a table in the corner nearest to the fire. This is a small country tavern. Travelers sleep in the main tavern room, which is not actually correct. They sleep in a large communal dormitory room that is off the tavern. If you look at the map of this tavern, which for some reason they give you a map of this tavern, even though there's literally no way you're ever going to fight in here, you figure that out. Because when I first read that, I was like, the people just sleep in the on the bar. But
now I will say, watching The Hateful Eight recently, again. I'm pretty sure several of those people just sleep in the chairs in front of the fire.
Oh, well, yeah, for sure. Well, this is like you sleep in the main tavern, or you can rent a spare bedroom and that the keeper of the tavern has. The keeper of the tavern's name is Milos Thunderchin.
Wow.
Milos.
Oh my God.
Thunderchin with 2 N's. Milos is really hard to say. It makes me want to say Milosh.
It might be Milos.
But no, it's literally Milos. Milos.
Yeah.
Milos. Yeah, Milos Thunderchin. Thunderchin is a great name.
Super good name.
For a human fighter.
Oh, I gotta steal that.
He is described as a friendly man who likes to sell his ale. He takes pride in its good quality, so he ostensibly also makes the ale, which is what he is probably the most proud of. He is the very soul of a patient and understanding bartender. His prices are fair and his cooking is tasty. Then we're moving on to more box text. Your players don't have a lot to do here. The town meeting. Milo serves a hearty meal at the Happy Farmer Tavern and offers several glasses of ale to wash it down. The tavern is crowded tonight since a town meeting has been called here. An old man enters the tavern and everyone becomes silent. Now, imagine you're the players. You are going to the Downs because you gotta, and you're going to the tavern because you gotta. Now you're sitting in the tavern and all of this just sort of happens around you.
So, like, is this where the hook for the Downs is meant to start?
Let's see. The old man is bent and gnarled by time. His hand shakes as it clutches his walking stick. He wears a clean, well-mended robe embroidered with a few colorful moons and stars.
Oh, moons and stars. Moons and stars.
This guy is a straight-up cereal box magician.
Yep. Like, this is absolutely Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, there I am.
Yep. Oh, there I am. My friends, I am Delon the Mage.
No.
Or Delon the Mage. I have lived happily in the Downs for longer than I care to remember. Why he's telling this to everybody, I don't know. I have seen it grown from a simple farmhouse to an entire community. Crops now grow where long ago none grew. And fruit trees have blossomed where only the wildwood stood.
Now, this makes sense because as we teach in public speaking, one of the first things you have to do is establish credibility.
Yes.
So we need to be able to know, hey, I've been here a very ass long time, and what's happening right now, this shit ain't normal, let me tell you.
But times are changing for the worse. I see the crops withering in the fields. Fruit falls from the trees before ripening, black and rotten. I told you we'd get back there.
Just keep on hitting on that.
He really wants you to know that the fruit is black and rotten.
It's like this is some metaphor for the 80s and wasted youth or something like that.
The livestock are not healthy. They now sicken with every day. A blight lies upon the downs. We have been cursed by the gypsy witch who passed this way.
And the crusty jugglers. For the greater good. That's the town meeting that we've stumbled into.
Yes,
we have stumbled into the, like, we need to murder every
100%.
outsider to ensure that we win the Village of the Year award.
Pretty close. No, they have a different idea for outsiders, which we're getting to. Had we given her the silver she wished, or let her rest a while and gather strength, these ills might not have befallen us.
No, they were! They were assholes!
So, first of all, this is the plot of Beauty and the Beast. Second of all...
and to an extent, Hot Fuzz,
yes,
one of the best movies ever made.
100%. Beauty and the Beast, Hot Fuzz. Also... First, maybe don't call her a gypsy witch, considering maybe you don't give her silver. I understand, but you don't let her rest for a little while to gather strength. Ostensibly, this is an old woman that you basically said, "Get the fuck out of my town, lady."
My brother in Bacab, you have moons and stars
On your
embroidered
robe.
on your robe. Professional courtesy alone.
Right?
You're on one side of the hedge mage witch. I'm on the other side of the hedge mage witch. We can coexist. Nope. We've got to be mage supremacists. We've got to kick the witches out.
Yes,
because there's only room for one in town, and by God, it's gonna be Dellin the. I almost called him Melon the Dage. Dellin the Mage.
Dellin the Mage. So this again, this gives you a lot of reasons why you would want to help these people, right?
It sounds like a lot of reasons why Della needs to potentially find himself at a stake with some kindling around it.
Or maybe seek the and gypsy is a term that is no longer being used by D&D for a really good reason. This module does contain it's not as bad as it could be. Stereotypical portrayals of the Romani or traveling people. It does much, much later in this module refer to them as traveling people. It actually handles it. It handles it incredibly well for 1984.
It handles it. It handles it the way it was handled in 1984.
Well,
without completely.
It actually handles it a little better, is what I'm getting at. Like they're not like cutthroats and thieves, and like they're shown as a relatively fine group of people who are traveling around.
Yeah, the assholes are all here in the inn.
Exactly. Like this guy's really not making any friends here, which is going to make the next bit a little bit awkward. I see the land turning against us, and I am helpless to remove this curse. My powers are too feeble to spare the land, but perhaps I can hold the curse at bay, long enough for you to gather what is left of the harvests. What will we do next year? I do not know. If only I had the powers of a druid, I could help. He shakes his head sadly.
There's that is like the giant hook unveiled and laid on the table.
So we're going to rely on the players to speak up and to offer their services. I am old and cannot travel. None of you may leave because crops must be harvested, families cared for, small businesses tended. I don't know, if you've got like a pawn shop, or maybe you could board up for a couple of months and go to a place where there's food.
We have to have something for our Etsy crowd.
We can't go away without tchotchkes. The glass blowers must be here to blow glass tchotchkes.
Our thriving withered peach doll industry is failing.
You have to support small and local businesses. His family's care. It is a difficult undertaking, but perhaps not for the strangers we have before us.
God.
Just calls your ass straight out.
I mean, could you imagine if you're just like, oh, good, we get dinner and a show, we get to watch all the little local politics, then the entire tavern turns to you and you're like, fuck, this was a setup, wasn't it? God damn it, I knew that farmer was too happy. Milo's Thunderfuck, you stupid son of a bitch. If your ale wasn't so good, I'd be mad at you.
Freshly brewed. I brew it back here. I'm very proud of it, but I like to feel it more.
God damn it, Milos. I can't stay mad at you. You're just too round and happy.
His eyes are fixed upon you.
His watery, roomy, little yellow eyeballs still inside that big wizened head.
Witch-hating eyes. You are our only hope for survival. He's never talked to you. No one has talked to you.
No,
he knows nothing about you.
We've established this in a previous podcast about these small towns and adventure hooks. They see someone coming, they run down the road, and everyone kind of gets their stuff together, and it's just like they're in the middle of the grove of the baboons. It's going to take them at least another hour to deal with the 40 that are left. We've got to get everything together.
I like to think he's thinking, now I've had a look at your character sheets and I see you are a group of adventurers between the levels of 2 and 4. His eyes are fixed upon you. You are our only hope for survival. He stares at you, waiting, and adds, those who search for the druid will have the opportunity for glory and adventure beyond their wildest imaginings. The room becomes deathly still, and most of the townsfolk turn to regard you, the strangers in their midst. They are literally all looking at you.
I mean, yeah. This does have a couple of shades of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, right?
Oh, keep a pin in that. But yes, it does. It is very much you must go to Pankot Palace.
Yeah, you've got to find the Shankara stones, and everyone in the village is like staring at you. And
yes,
like, they're taking all of our children,
and they're like crowded around you.
Exactly.
But, I mean, this is like our orange crop is suffering because we were mean to an old lady.
God.
Assuming the party answers Delon's plea for aid, he invites them to his quarters to spend the night and prepare for the journey. He provides them with 2 weeks' rations. He also gives them a rough old map of the area. Now, this doesn't really matter. I just found this really funny. The map of the area that he gives them, they actually give it to you in the book, right?
Oh, I like handouts.
They give you a handout. It's not a map. It's like a drawing of the area. It's so funny. Like, it was so funny to me that it literally says the Grady Oldie Woody up top, and then it's a one road with some forest around it, and then it's some like 3D drawn mountains and a tunnel through the mountains, and then the wild river on the, like, there's no scale, there's nothing to this map. It's like the least helpful map. It's like, if you're like, well, how do I get to Denver from here? And you're like, well, I'm going to draw Oklahoma. I'm going to draw like a little stick for Oklahoma. And then here's a river that you might have to cross. And then you're in Denver.
The U.S. Geological Survey maps, this is not.
No, this is no help at all to anybody. It points out the general direction of the Druids and the Forest Oracle. Spoiler alert, the general direction is east.
Yeah.
The party will not find anything worth stealing in Delon's quarters, but they're looking. They can purchase some supplies, but other than that, if the party refuses to aid the Downs, the townspeople will ignore them, aside from providing the services the party pays for. Eventually, the party will be asked to help the Downs or leave. So it's literally, help us or get the fuck out of town.
Just like the gypsy.
Just like the gypsy.
God. Ugh.
So this is, you're literally railroaded. Like, you have been railroad with this choo-choo motherfucker. You are on the road, baby, and the road is tracks.
This sounds like a whole bunch of, if you're not like, oh, I guess we got to help this town out. It's
Sure.
like, it sounds like y'all got what was coming to you.
I
I
mean,
can't see a lawful neutral paladin not saying like, so you were judged and found wanting, and now you want to escape that judgment.
they could have made it, because you brought up Temple of Doom. That is, for all of its faults, that story arc is like, they took our children. Like, you can't say no to that. Not, we were cursed by a person we're calling a gypsy witch because not only would we not give her any money, but we also told her to get the fuck out of town. It's like, well, then maybe I don't want to help you. But because this is an adventure and the DM has read it all, you're going on the fucking journey. So let's start the journey. More box text. Early the next morning, the mage explains, follow the new wilderness road until you reach the old wilderness road. He digs in his pockets and extracts an old talisman. This is a talisman of protection from evil. It may be of help. So this free loot, which is great, but nowhere else is this mentioned. It is in the box text and that's it. So someone gets it, someone puts it on, whatever. You get a talisman of protection from evil from Melon the Dage. The new wilderness road runs roughly north to south. The downs lie just off the road below the Grady Oldie Woody. The road is wide enough for two wagons to pass one another, but just barely. The woods grow closely about the new road. The trees are tall and old. The overgrowth shoves. Inside the wood, foliage blocks the sun, allowing only a few rays to filter down from the leafy canopy. So you are able to travel on this road for quite a while, or the party is able to travel on this road for quite a while without getting lost. If you leave the road, it says you run the risk of getting lost, and then there are, if you're lost in the woods, rules in the DMG. Because of the age of the map that you were given, which again was not helpful to begin with, the new wilderness road is not shown. There's literally just the one road that's the easiest one to find. I cannot stress how little help this fucking map is. The location of the river in the mountains, blah, 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 blah. Just as the party enters the woods, they may find the lightly overgrown old wilderness road, which runs east to west across the new wilderness road. Secretly, roll 1d6 for each party member. On a 1 to 3, they locate the road. So we're literally on a road looking for another road. So on a 1 to 3, so a 50% chance they locate the road. If no one sees the road, allow the party to travel for 1/2 day, continually rolling wandering monster checks as they go, before they realize they have passed it by. When they return, they should be able to find the road at nightfall. Literally waste the player's time.
Yeah. Because there's also, like, we can't find it. We've been given tools. Right. We just, like, maybe find it, maybe don't.
Right. And the thing is, you haven't been given tools. That's another part of it. That's like, it kind of goes back to the who gets surprised thing here. It's literally the DM just decides you found it or decides you don't based on probably how hungry they are, how desperately they need to go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. But ostensibly on a roll of a d6. So it's either you roll the d6 or the DM rolls the d6 in secret and you find it and hooray, or you have another 8 hours of potential wandering monster fights before you come right back to where you are. You're potentially down hit points, you're potentially down other resources, and you find the road as the night falls. The old wilderness road is a path which crosses over the new wilderness road. It's that classic abandoned road look with grass growing up out of it and all that stuff, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. So now you're on the old wilderness road, having not much happened up to this point. A group of 7 men approaches. They are following the road east and are making good time, neither tarrying nor running. Their faces are expressionless. One is dressed as a cleric of some sort, and another is dressed as a traveling drummer. The others could be peasants or serfs going from one location to another for the harvest season. Each carries some sort of weapon. It is plain that they are not soldiers by their haphazard way of walking. They do not seem to be joking loudly or singing as they advance. That's the weirdest fucking paragraph I've ever read in my life.
They're not singing. That's trouble.
They do not seem to be joking loudly or singing. This is where this module is weird, is what they choose to tell you and what they choose to not tell you. Like, this is literally, the men are not wearing hats. No one is whistling a jaunty tune. It's like, they're not doing a lot of things. How about you just tell me what they are doing?
Mm-hmm.
Just insane. So the party encounters, this is 7 brigands. One is the leader, who has a magic sword and some stuff like that. And then he has some fighters. They look like rough men and carry weapons that pilgrims or wayfarers would not. Once they get you get a roll for surprise again for some reason. 1 to 3, you surprise them. 3 to 4, no surprise. 5 to 6, they surprise you. The brigands will fight until they are all dead or until the party has been killed. I don't think there's a third option. If a brigand is captured, he will offer to lead the party to his hideout if they spare his life. He will not volunteer any more information about the hideout, but he will not lie if asked a direct question about it. He's like a guy from a riddle. He's the brother who couldn't tell a lie.
Yeah, you got me. Wow.
The New Wilderness Road curves to the east. Just beyond the curve in the road, a small path leads off to the northwest. About 1,000 feet down the path is a small clearing with a small dwelling and some larger dwelling. So basically, you take care of the brigands, and the brigands have taken you, or you find their hideout. There are 8 more brigands in the camp at this time that you've got to fight off. They also fight to the death. And then there are some huts. You have Hut A through Hut D. Okay. There's basically really nothing in these huts except for some treasure. In one hut, there's 4 sacks of 50 gold pieces, a chest of silver rings, bracelets and necklaces worth 750 silver pieces, and a wine barrel. A scroll of gaseous form is stuffed inside the leader's pillow. That was the leader's hut. Huh. In Hut B, there are 2 beds and a table. A small fire burns in the fireplace. A loose brick can be removed from the fireplace, where 50 gold pieces, 100 silver pieces, 500 copper pieces, and a gem worth 150 gold pieces are hidden. Hut C is just another hut, chest of 1,000 copper pieces hidden under the last bed. However, when the chest is open, PCs must save versus paralysis as gas fills the room. A thief may attempt to remove the trap on the chest if he is able to detect it. So paralysis gas.
Well, imagine I'm picturing a chest. You pull the chest out, it's clinking and clanking with coins. You're like, oh shit, son.
Yeah,
you open it, and they're all copper.
And you have to deal with paralysis gas.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, you've already basically fought everybody, and so you're just paralyzed until you're not.
Yeah.
In the final hut, there is a fireplace with no mantle. It does have a loose stone on one side. Inside a hole behind the stone is 3 gems worth 100 gold pieces each. A non-magical medallion that's worth 20 gold pieces. And then there's a pen that just has some goats in it. I did like that. It says, if anyone enters the corral without tying the goats to the sides, the billy goats will butt them for 1d4 worth of damage. I guess you don't get a save for that. Like, this is a very talented fighter. That is very talented billy goat fighter.
This strikes me a lot as like someone who is remembering fondly a trip they made to like the Scottish Highlands.
Yes.
Or to, some pastoral plot.
Or a petting, like this feels kind of petting zoo-ish to me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little tiny houses and things. Now on to an area called more names that will stick with you. The Quiet Lake. And I will say, this was sort of the area that really sparked interest in this module. This is what it's most famous for, at least as far as it is famous among people who like to shit on it, but for good reason. This is wild. Box text: the forest trail is straight. Leaves of countless years pave the path, preventing grass from growing over the road. Squirrels play in the trees and dart across the path. The sun filters down through the trees. A bird sings while another struggles with a worm. This is literally the fucking Disney forest. All is normal and serene. An old deer skeleton lies on the path amongst scattered paw prints of wolves. The prints and skeleton appear several weeks old. So, you're approaching a lake. As the party comes within 1 mile of Quiet Lake, everything changes. No more birds sing. The whole Disney forest is gone. And little wildlife of other sort move around. The area has become strangely different. It does not seem as ominous as it does sad. Once they get close to the lake, they see that the lake extends to the southeast. More box text. A deer lies at the water's edge. Further south stands a small pavilion. The pavilion sits at the edge of the lake, small and slightly raised on stilts. It does not appear to have been lived in for some time. The wood is old, and a few cobwebs hang across the window. Curtains keep out the sun and block the view inside. The door is tightly closed. Okay, Russell, you are an adventurer, or you are adventurers. You approach this lake. You've seen or you've noticed that you had the Disney forest. The Disney forest kind of ominously or sadly ends, and you come up and you see just a deer laying at the water's edge. What are you doing?
I mean, I'll call for active perception checks, but other than that, it's like, let's kind of carefully make our way towards that lake. Clearly something's wrong.
Sure.
Clearly something's not right. I mean, this is also the age where I might ask I attempt to disbelieve.
Hey, you know what? That is a very smart thing to do. It will absolutely not help you here because all of this is real. The horrors you face are not of your imagining. So this is another part where I think the module kind of fails, is it doesn't give the players really a lot to do. You see this lake, you see this deer who you assume is dead, right? Well, it says, if the players check the deer out, they get a very faint pulse. The deer's not dead, the deer is asleep. And if you drink from the water of the lake, there's a chance that you might fall asleep.
What?
Yes. Now, here's where it gets. All who sleep stay asleep until they are moved away from the edge of the water and the shore. They will then awaken normally.
Was there like a sleep spell cast on the lake?
Do not encourage the party to test the water. If they check the deer, they will discover a very slight pulse. So those are the rules of the lake.
Okay.
If you get in, drinking just 1 cup of the lake, you have a chance of being put to sleep. So then you've got this pavilion, right?
Okay.
Inside the pavilion, the front door not locked. The sound of gentle breathing comes from inside. When the door is opened, sunlight illuminates the room. A young man sleeps on the bed. The room is furnished with 2 wooden chairs, a table, couch, pantry, bed, chest, and a stack of firewood for the fireplace.
So we've got a whole like Sleeping Beauty situation going on.
Yes, except it is a young man.
Young men can be Sleeping Beauties too.
That's true. I mean, I am sure he is a beautiful man, and there's a really good reason for that. So here's what's happening behind the scenes that you really have no chance of figuring out yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
The pavilion on the lake was built for this specific man whose lover is a nymph.
Okay. Like the wood nymph kind.
Well, the water nymph kind.
Water. Okay. Yeah. Water nymph.
Yes.
Okay. Now things are starting to make sense. Yes. We have a lake. We have a guy living by a lake. We have a sleeping spell put on a lake. And we have a water nymph living in the lake. Things are starting to click.
So what's clicking? Tell me, walk me through your mind palace.
All right. So the nymph and the guy are an item, right?
Sure.
So something happened.
Yes.
Either the nymph wanted to make sure that the person can't go away from her, so she put him to sleep.
Okay.
Perhaps she's jealous of something.
Okay.
There's a number of different reasons. But bottom line, the nymph is the source of the is the source of the sleeping magic. It's got
They're very astute. You are 100% correct. So when the players enter the pavilion, it says here, party members going up the steps to the front door of the pavilion will step on a squeaky board. This alerts no one, but it was here to let Chloe, the nymph, and Evan, her lover, know if they were about to have unannounced guests, for no particular reason. Why do you ask? The only access to the back door of the pavilion is to go into the water and swim to the door, right? Okay,
so it's like almost a fishing pier or something on the backside.
Yes, like a boat dock, like a boat ramp.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Where Chloe can come right up into the thing. Okay, you can look around the house, you can do things, but here's the thing. Evan, who's asleep, sleeps until awakened. He awakens in one round, as outlined for the sleep spell. So he just wakes up like a round after you walk in. Or if you try to awaken him, he awakens.
Right. He's under a sleep spell. You have to like shake him or something. You got to get him to wake up. Otherwise he stays asleep. So
now you expect like to face some sort of consequence. Potentially.
Maybe. Or maybe just you get more information.
Sure. So the nymph who loved Evan, Chloe, whom we've already, was afraid he was going to leave her, so she arranged to have a special sleep enchantment cast upon the lake, exactly as you said. But Evan wakes up pretty much immediately. Now here's the part that it gets kind of weird. Chloe, the nymph, who can blind or kill you if you look at her, by the way, and can dimension door, so if you just turn your back to her, she's going to dimension door in front of you.
Classic old school nymph.
Sure. Regretted her action after she caused Evan to sleep. If the party manages to wake Evan, which again, just by trying, Chloe shows her gratitude by giving them 100 gold pieces each and a potion of invisibility. But she will not choose to appear until the party has either searched the pavilion or unless they try to leave without attempting to wake Evan.
So she can't do anything to wake him.
I mean, there's nothing here that says she can't.
Because that's what's... Hold on. Hold on.
Yes.
So she caused the spell.
Yes.
She put him asleep.
Yes.
She has... Okay, bear with me. She has backdoor access to him because of the booty call boat ramp that they built on the back of the love hut.
Yes, booty call boat ramp.
Let's be clear.
Yes, 100. You understand everything as understandable as it can be.
Right, we're on a plot line from Fantasy Island.
Yes.
Like this is very much, the plane boss, the plane is happening.
Yes. Here. Well, let's make it even more convoluted. If the party does not wake Evan, which again, all you have to do is try or wait for one round. So 10 minutes, he's going to wake up regardless, ostensibly. But if the party does not wake Evan, you walk in, you look around, you see this guy. I guess you're being really polite. You're like, no, he's CP. We'll leave. We'll come back later. Chloe approaches them and pleads for their help. She offers them the invisibility potion for helping her. Chloe appears as a young, innocent girl of 16, let's say 18. She cries and wrings her hands. She's telling the party that her lover needs their help. She cannot awaken him and is obviously too distraught to think of a clear solution to her problem. Like trying to awaken him by literally any means possible.
Literally any means possible.
Literally any means
I don't know,
possible.
splashing water on him.
Speaking loudly. Touching him physically, which I bet being a girl of 18 with a lover that she keeps in a pavilion, she's probably pretty familiar with.
I mean, it's okay. This goes back to the room. This goes back to the village full of people who passively ask you for help.
Yes. It's like that's how this is weird.
Yeah. This is This is very much that kind of passive motivation where
Yes.
it's like you're relying on people to trip all over themselves looking for something to do.
Yes.
Like the only thing that would you could copy and paste this today is if you put a yellow exclamation mark over the body.
Yeah.
And then whenever you clicked on it, and it's like, he seems to sleep peacefully. Do you wake him? No. And then there's a golden question mark over Chloe waiting outside.
Exactly.
Like,
Or
oh,
it's that
the quest is telling me this is how I advance it.
Yes. Or it's the quest. There's an option that's like you've talked to the quest giver too early and you want to do something else, and you basically just you go through all the dialogue, blah 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 blah, and at the end it says I'm not ready to leave yet, and you click I'm not ready to leave yet, and then you can just go back out and like, you know, go explore a little part of the room you haven't explored yet, or go pick some stuff up or do whatever.
Yep.
But the only way to move forward in the game is to go to that person, go through all of that dialogue again, and click the other option, which is continue the fucking game, right?
Yep.
So about the pavilion, which is a weird thing to call this, because you imagine it just being like a little building, but a pavilion, it is a thing. I looked it up. Not all pavilions have to be like open-sided. That's what I was thinking. They don't. It's a word from antiquity that can just mean a little small. It's usually a small building or place that is next to larger buildings, so it doesn't really work, but whatever. In more of the just strange use of language, in the pantry they find old moldy sack of flour, a corked jug of wine. Weird that he knows like that wine can get corked. That's sort of an inside wine term, which I wouldn't expect to see in a weird module like this.
Well, I mean, it's a jug. It has wine. There's a cork on the top of it.
Oh, damn it. Okay, I'm using my when wine goes off.
No, when wine gets bad, it's corked. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes way more sense. Never mind. I take back my praise for knowing an insider's wine term. I'm just an idiot.
It's out the opportunity to bring that specialist knowledge in. There is no shame in that whatsoever, nor is there in the fact that I immediately thought, oh yeah, jug wine, you know, right. Like jug wine you keep in the jug with the little ring near the top.
That you hook and just throw over your show.
Exactly.
In the chest lie blankets, 2 candlesticks, tinder and flint, and a dried out wreath of water lilies, which Evan kept as a remembrance of Chloe. The fireplace has no secret compartments. There is no treasure in the room. Evan owns a longbow and a dagger. The longbow and quiver of 10 arrows rest in the... Again, the stuff that it chooses to point out.
Yep.
Oh, Christ. Okay, well, this actually somehow gets even weirder. If the party does not wake Evan, Chloe pleads for the help, blah, 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 blah. After the party awakens Evan, Chloe gives them a potion to pour into the lake. This is the antidote for the sleep enchantment on the lake. She gives them enough to purify the whole lake, but the entire potion must be poured in. Once the potion is poured in, the area around the lake seems to revitalize.
What? What? Hold on. Hold on. Okay. This is one of those moments where it's like there's only one way to express this, and I apologize fully, profusely, knowing what I'm about to do. Okay. But this is very much a like looking at that person like, bitch, you live like this? What the hell? What is your damage?
What is your fucking deal, Chloe?
I mean, shit. It can't have been that good to make you stupid. What the hell?
You know, yeah.
You put the spell over the whole goddamn lake, And then, all right, listen, you put the spell over the whole lake, you see how bad it's getting, you see, oh God, no, he's not waking up, and then you sit there and panic. This, you can't tell me, oh, this was just coded. She's like, she's really, really executive function trouble. It's like,
Sure.
no, this is bad design. I'm sorry.
No, 100%. Like, because I've read over this again. This is the thing that set off that thread. There are other things. Also, the description of the brigands from earlier. There was a hilarious post in that thread where people started making up their own encounters in the same vein as the encounters of this module.
Of using the same kind of syntax of the post.
Right. There was one, oh God, it was the one with
they speak no names and their eyes do not sparkle.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. The guy that started the post, I thought was really funny. His profile name, this is from September 14th, 2005. His profile name was Quasqueaton.
Oh,
which, hey, we've seen before.
Good old Quasqueaton.
Good old Quasqueaton.
They walk towards you with their house keys in their hands, but they do not flip them joylessly.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly what it is.
It's like a doppelganger trying to describe in the fanfic that they're writing what humans actually behave like.
Yes, yeah. It does kind of seem like it's written by an alien who has read a module before, understands what would normally be in the module, and thinks, well, if I don't tell them that it's not in here, then they're gonna assume it is in here, not knowing that that's not how human language works. Like, you have to tell us for a thing. But I wanted to read this one post. I wasn't going to do this, but it's really fucking funny. I give all credit to the poster on the In-World forums who wrote this. But this is literally fucking 20 years ago, so I'm going to read it. This is back with the brigands. A group of men head by. They are not tarrying or running, nor are they singing. They don't seem to be making apple pies. As far as you could tell, they're not talking about sports. They neither have sombreros nor stilts. These men are not acrobats. They have no expression, as they don't dally to the west. It was described as a Vacus grimoire, which I thought was also pretty fun.
This is some kind of like banded ordered list that it is typing everything that is the exception. It is not typing the thing that happens.
Yes.
It's typing all the exceptions out.
Yes, it's telling you everything that's not happening, which is, I cannot stress strongly enough, not how human language works.
List all exceptions in numerical order, execute.
I've read this specifically Chloe and Evan and the fuck pavilion and all that. I've read this 100 times now. And my first thought was, are they trying to do a little bit like the princess in Princess Arlena, where they're kind of being like, women are the fucking worst, aren't they, guys? Where it's like they're trying to make her seem so stupid and so helpless little girly, which is gross considering that like, oh, she just can't do anything. But even that, I think, is giving too much of assumed thought to this, because it really seems like it's got all the, it's like you took 3 different stories and just crammed them all together. It's like, yeah, it's hard to wrap your brain around how weird this is and how it just does not work. And I can't imagine sitting around a table as a DM who's probably, we're all 11. The DM, this is like the second or third thing he's DM'd, who's trying to hack through this. And you're all just like, so why can't she dump the potion in the water? And he's just like,
the end of the whole time.
I don't know, dude.
The end of the whole time. There's no like, make it a wicked stepmother.
Yes. Or some sort of a thing you have to, like, that's what's missing, is some sort of a thing you have to kill.
Right.
Some giant gray ooze got out of some crack from the that leads to the netherworld and crawled its way into the lake, and it's now caused a deathly sleep. Like the lake is amplifying it, and you kill the Chloe is like, I can't wake my boyfriend, and you go kill the ooze, and you pull the ooze's oozy body out of the lake. Everybody wakes up, and they're like, that's what it's missing. But instead of that, it's just Chloe was jealous. She put her boyfriend to sleep and the whole lake to sleep. Apparently then immediately disassociated. Didn't realize she did it. Can't figure out why her boyfriend's not waking up, despite not trying anything to wake him up. And then some people come by 6 minutes later who she gives all of her problems to.
Also, not that this would actually happen, but what if they just say no and just walk away?
Right? It doesn't. It gives you nothing.
Nothing happens. You're done. Yeah. You get nothing. That's fine.
Or I mean, there's nothing inherently interesting about a creepy lake with a dead deer beside it. Like, they just walked up to the deer, they looked at it, and it was like, it looks dead, but you don't see any there's arrows sticking in it, and then you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to continue on down the road, and then you just leave.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know if this is the order of operations.
Sure.
You're walking towards the lake. You hear all these sounds of life. You get closer to the lake, it all stops. You reach the lake, there is a skeleton nearby that looks like it's been there a while.
There is a live deer that is that is asleep by the lake.
Got it.
You could wake that deer up. Again, the rules that he set were he being the author, that you pull that deer away from the lake, deer springs up, runs away. If one of your buddies goes, I can't read context clues, and drinks from the lake, and your buddy falls asleep, you grab him by the ankles, you pull him away from the lake, rules as written say he awakens. And you're like, oh, that's weird. This is like water of temporarily putting you to sleep only when you're within physical proximity to the lake.
Yeah.
But maybe that you look into, but nothing is inherently in danger here.
Yep.
And you really just have to be the players. It's all on, you're on rails, right? The players have to go to the pavilion. They have to see Evan. They have to do whatever they do with Evan, that you either wake him or Chloe comes by and has you wake him. Mm-hmm. And then gives you the potion, and you get some loot, and you continue. It's literally like you're on a carnival dark ride where you're in you're all in the little cars as you go by, and it's like Small World, and all the things pop up around you, and they do their things, and then you come out the other end, and you get your picture, and you're done. Mm-hmm. Like, it's literally a theme park ride.
Yeah.
Just crazy. So once you have made your way through this whole thing, next up is the Wildwood Inn. You're leaving the lake behind. The old wilderness road runs east. Gradually, the path becomes less overgrown. Another old path crosses this one at a clearing and goes roughly north-south. In the clearing stands an inn. The sign, painted with a tree and two resting men underneath it, is titled The Wildwood Inn. If you pass by the inn, you can set up camp in the area. Otherwise, we're going into the inn, but you don't have to. But let's say you do, because who wouldn't go into a nice inn?
Right.
It is cool and quiet inside the inn. The owner, a smiling halfling, stands behind a waist-high wooden desk. Good day, traveler. Would you like a drink, a meal, a room, all three? He patiently awaits an answer.
Oh God, I thought he was going to wait. Or me?
Or me? When the party enters the Wildwood Inn, they meet the proprietor, Bolo Softsoul. He is a halfling, which means he is a
food obsessed thief.
Indeed. He is, however, a former thief. He is a cheerful sort, has a rakish look, and wears a patch over his left eye. Bolo, the one-eyed halfling innkeeper.
I mean, so I was initially thinking, like, he better have a bolo tie. Now it's like, oh no, he throws bolos and then whacks people over the head and steals their stuff.
Exactly.
That's the halfling stereotype we're working on.
He used to do that.
Yep.
Bolo is a retired thief who made enough during his life to buy this remote inn. He does a good business here, but worries the lawmen will someday come and take him away to jail for his previous exploits. He has turned honest and would not think of stealing from or cheating a guest. This sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
This has all the markings of something interesting could happen. A former thief that runs the inn. There are things you could do here, right?
Sure.
They're not going to, unfortunately. Rooms cost 1 gold piece a night. The party may occupy any number of rooms available. An excellent meal. They can have a large pitcher of beer that serves 5. In each room, and I'm talking about the rooms for a reason, in each room, 2 beds sit across the door, their headboards against the outer walls. Think Lucy and Ricky. Bolo gives them the key from his large ring to lock their doors. In each room is a small chest that rests at the foot of the bed. Each lock has a key for the customers to use. So while the party eats dinner, they hear certain farmers and travelers swapping tales. They hear 2 true tales for every falsehood told. Each hour, the party sits in the tavern portion of the inn. They hear 2 of the following stories. Let's play True or False from our rumors.
Good old classic true or false rumors.
Number 1. Goblins/orcs are raiding to the west of the Dragon Teeth Mountains as snows have blocked the mountain's passes until spring.
That sounds true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Number 2, gypsies have been coming into this area from the southern portion of the land. It is said that they curse people who do not give them some silver.
We know that's true.
That is absolutely true. The elfin city of Oron, the city of gold, has been sighted to the north by foresters.
That sounds like a false one.
That is false.
Yeah, don't go chasing cities of gold, people.
Quiet Lake is a sad place. There is a mysterious woman who is heard crying there. She has never been seen.
That one we would know by now is true.
Yes, and you actually it's funny that you know for a fact 2 of these that we've gone through is true. There is a tunnel that goes under the Dragon Teeth Mountains. It is old but still usable.
Ooh, worth investigating, even though we're remaining skeptical. I hope this one is true.
That one is true. You do know that they're based on the map. One of the things that's on the map, and one of the things that Devon the mage, I can't remember his name now. One of the things that he tells you is there is a tunnel that you're supposed to go through for the Dragon Teeth Mountain. Delon.
Because we think it's Mel in the Dage.
It's Mel in the Dage.
Mel in the Dage.
Number 6, a dragon lives high in the peaks of the Dragon Teeth Mountains and stops travelers from passing through.
I mean, I would be crushed if this is false.
It is, unfortunately. It is false. Yeah.
Son of a...
No dragons to be seen. Giant wolves have been seen near the Wild River.
We're going for true on that one.
That's true. And finally, the druids have a forest hideaway to the east of the Wild River.
I mean, we're headed that way, so that sounds right.
Also true. Yes, correct. Yeah. The tavern closes at 10 p.m. Bolo sends all of the customers off to their rooms, the lights go out, and the tavern becomes still. That's not how taverns work. Just throwing that out there. Not how taverns work.
If you're at the B&B, right, it feels like a B&B in that regard.
Yes.
Because the B&Bs, you kind of have to be on the schedule of the people who run the house.
Yes.
This
is more B&B, I guess, than taverns strictly.
Yeah, because here's the thing about taverns that are out in the middle of the remote area that have all these random people that are in it, right? Where are they coming from? Are they traveling that north and south road that you weren't on? So you didn't meet any of them on the road?
Right. I mean, that's the old forest road, and most of it is impassable. So hard to say who's coming through, at least if these are travelers. These may just be mostly farmers from around the area. It does say travelers, so maybe they do get a couple of travelers coming through occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it does. I mean, it's a remote inn, so it's just weird that and there's also, I should note, there's also a reason that there's a bedtime because if you don't go to sleep and he doesn't force everyone to go to sleep, you can't be robbed, which is exactly what's going to happen. And this is the other. So if if the Quiet Lake was the one face of the coin that you use for railroading, this is the other face of the coin that you used for railroading. That is the end of part 1 of The Forest Oracle. The journey to find the Oracle and save the Downs, whether you want to or not, continues in part 2. As always, we have a new release every other Tuesday. If you hate cliffhangers and like your podcasts long and all at once, we offer this entire episode from start to finish, uninterrupted, over on our Patreon. Find out more at our home base, analogdungeon.com. You've listened this long, which means you're clearly one of us now. Hit like, subscribe, and comment. Initiation complete. We'll see you next time.